to the 2020 Knox-Lombard Athletic Hall of Fame virtual induction ceremony. I am Daniela Earle, Director of Athletics. It is both my honor and great pleasure to recognize this year's inductees. While we regret that we are gathering in a virtual setting this year, the pride that we have for these 4 inductees could not be held in any longer. I would like to welcome Mary Groll, Joe Metzka, Derek Mortensen, and Michael Smith, along with family, friends, teammates, and members of our college and athletics community who are logging in and joining us from across the country. Adding to the rich tradition of Knox athletics, I am honored to recognize Mary, Joe, Derek, and Michael as the newest members of the Knox-Lombard Athletic Hall of Fame. Congratulations on such an incredible achievement and induction into such a prestigious group of Knox College alumni. Before we proceed, I would like to thank the work of the 2020 Knox-Lombard Hall of Fame Selection Committee. 2020 Selection Committee members include James Clark, our Sports Information Director, Crew Keller, our K-Club Coordinator, alumni Josh Fordyce, Thomas McMillan, Brooke McKinney, and Bradley Ruton. Congratulations to our 4 very worthy inductees. These individuals embody what intercollegiate athletics should be about. They are great teammates, great athletes, and students, and we are humbled to call them as our own.
Hello, my name is Kathy Wagner, and I had the great pleasure of coaching Mary Whiteside Groll for 4 years while she was at Knox. It is my honor to read Mary's Knox-Lombard Hall of Fame citation. Mary Whiteside Groll was an exceptional all-around member of the Knox volleyball team. She graduated in 1992 with a degree in biology. Mary was a team leader in hitting percentage, digs, passing percentage, kills, block assists on the volleyball team from 1988 to 1992. She returned from a significant knee injury early in her career to become one of the strongest members of her team. Her ability to be a leader in a wide variety of categories made her an extremely valuable asset on the court. Mary came to Knox already with well-developed skills, having played on the highly competitive club team in Chicago called Spry. Her outstanding college career as an outside attacker came from a combination of quickness on both her takeoff and her arm swing, and her ability to read the opposing blockers and defenders. Mary also specialized as a middle back row player, where she was poetry in motion as she aptly read the opposing attackers. Her efficiency of movement allowed both her to pass and dig at a very high level. But it is the intangibles that don't show up on paper that made her such a valuable team member. Simply stated, she made those around her better players and coaches, most of all including myself. She was very humble, but a most inspirational leader on the court. Off the court, she was our team barometer, whom the coaches could always rely on to know how the team was feeling. Did we need to soften or kick butt, be more understanding, or give a day off? Mary Lou and I both became better coaches by studying Mary's skills and by listening to her humanity and humor. There are always a few players who help keep life and athletics in perspective, and Mary Groll was and is that kind of wonderful person. Mary was named to the All-Conference team in 1990 and 1991. She was also a team captain for both those years and a most valuable team member in 1990. She helped lead the team to the semifinals and a 4th place finish at the Midwest Conference Volleyball Tournament in 1990 and 91. The team also finished second to St. Norbert in 1998 in the championship finals. After graduation, Mary went on to the Feinberg School of Medicine at Northwestern University and the Graduate Medical Education Pediatrics Residency Program at the University of Chicago. She worked in pediatrics after receiving her MD and is currently the chair and program director of Physician Assistant Studies at North Central College. We are honored to welcome Mary Groll into the Knox-Lombard Athletic Hall of Fame class of 2020. Thank you.
My name is Mary. Whiteside is my maiden name, Groll. I was a scholar athlete at Knox College from 1988 until 1992 and was on the women's volleyball team during that time. My position was outside hitter and predates the libero position, but in the back row, I was the defensive specialist in the back row. I'm so humble and appreciative of this honor, and I'd like to begin to express my gratitude with President Amat. As the first female president of Knox College, I am so grateful for your visionary leadership and your ability to make Knox a campus of destination, but more importantly, I would like to thank you for your vision for equity and inclusion and being a role model for future Knox women to follow. And to that end, thank you, Daniela Earl, for your leadership of all of the Knox athletes as the first female athletic director. Again, your advocacy to include more scholar athletes and represent women in this honorable Hall of Fame. I deeply appreciate your kindness in including me with these incredible athletes. And also to Crew Keller, thank you for your kindness and encouragement for getting this very introverted alumnus on Zoom to record this. I appreciate all that you've done to make this happen. And as I think about the late 80s and the early 90s in my time and growing into adulthood on that campus on the prairie, I really have to reach out and truly express my gratitude to the professors and the coaches and the friends and the families. I wouldn't have come this far if it weren't for you. So to that end, thank you, Mary Lou and Kathy, for your recruitment and your encouragement and your never-ending support for me to become not only the best athlete I could be, but the best scholar, and tenaciously attack my goals for my future. And I'd also like to thank my parents, my Canadian immigrant parents, who after 10 long years of figure skating lessons allowed me to hang up those ice skates and pick up a pair of gym shoes and embrace my identity as an American girl. Thank you. And I'd also like to thank Dr. Billy Gear, who was emeritus professor of biology at Knox College, and I think all know and love him well. He led a team of scientists in SMAC, and I'm honored to be one of them. And I wouldn't be who I am today without his belief in my ability. So thank you, Dr. Gear and the genetics lab. And more importantly, I have to thank my tenacious and fierce and wonderful sisters in volleyball. It's such a collaborative sport. I can't even begin to name all of the amazing women that without them, I would never, ever have received this award. And not only did you increase my grit scale and teach me to push through physical fatigue, and you also tutored me in chemistry and helped me to learn and to love and to forgive. And I wouldn't be here without you. And finally, I need to thank my husband, Jonathan, of 25 years, and our 3 children, Noah, Benjamin, and Caleb. You are my life and my love, and I can't thank you enough for your unconditional support and love for me over these years, and I wouldn't be here if it weren't for you. And finally, to the Knox College community, I carry you in my heart. I grew up there. You taught me how to be fierce and tenacious and kind and forgiving. You taught me how to love, and you taught me how to move on. And you taught me that I am my brother's keeper. So I wish you all the best, and I can't thank you enough for the influence you've had on my life and on my children's lives. And I can say this with a shout out to Dr. Gear again. You've changed my epigenome for the better. So thank you.
Joe Metzke is one of the most dominant kickers and athletes in Knox football history. He graduated in 1996 after a spectacular career on the gridiron. Joe was named All-American in 1993, 1994, and 1995, as well as being preseason All-American selection in 1994 and 1995. He holds the Knox record for most field goals in a career, 22. The best field goal percentage, 733. Most field goals in a game with 5. Longest field goal, some 53 yards. Most punts in a career, 220. And the most punt yards in a career, 7,627, which translates to well in excess of 4 miles of punting. He also holds a single season record for extra point percentage, and this is a record that will never be broken because it is a perfect 1,000. Joe was also named All Midwest Conference a total of 5 times, 3 times as a punter and twice as a kicker. He was named first team All Conference for 4 of these 5 citations. Joe was also a 4-year letter winner on the track team, where he threw the javelin and competed as a sprinter. Joe's teammates and coaches fondly remember him as humble, loyal, and quick to praise, and always willing to encourage his teammates. Joe graduated from Knox with a sociology and secondary education double major. He also performed as a member of the Knox College jazz band all 4 years, on top of his achievement on the field. After graduation, Joe went on to earn his master's and doctorate degrees in psychology. He currently teaches psychology at the O'Fallon, Illinois High School and McKendree University. He also plays guitar in the Joe Metzke Band. His group plays numerous venues in the St. Louis areas, including St. Louis Blues hockey game intermissions. I am honored to welcome my good friend Joe Metzke into the Knox-Lombard Athletic Hall of Fame, class of 2020.
My name's Joe Metzke. I'm originally from Chillicothe, Illinois. Went to Illinois Valley Central High School, class of 1992. Went to Knox College from fall of 92 through 96. Played football all 4 years and ran track as well. Well, it's quite an honor. For me, it's a surprise. It comes as a complete surprise to me. The time displacement, given the position I played in football, it's not the kind of thing I expected. Quite an honor. My high school coach and my favorite coach I ever played for was Bob Kraut. Still is. And he was the best football player ever to go through there. And I think anyone with any background will tell you he was the most talented guy to ever go through. He played for the Raiders. He went to the pros. He's a teammate of Joe Namath on the Jets. He was that kind of a freakish athlete. John Rosine was a mentor for me, and he made me not drop out. I made a handshake deal with him that I was going to finish school, and he made me declare an education major and student teach under his supervision. And had he not done that, I would have dropped out of school. Coming from nothing, knowing the social class that I was from, it was my way to be, one, not to get my butt kicked, at the bus stop, being an elite athlete. So I got to play varsity football as a freshman in high school. So when I got pulled up, then nobody tried to beat me up after that because the seniors looked out for me. So back in those days, that was the case. And I loved competing. Any sport that I could do, I was good at it. So I was a good athlete early on, and I got good at, every sport I did. once I got to Knox, I loved playing receiver. I loved being a part of the defense. I liked playing defensive back in high school. Loved track and field. But it became clear that if I just focused on one skill, which was kicking the football, that I might have a chance to go pro. So the coaches and I, we kind of agreed after that first season, let's do this. And see, I wanted to know, if I do one thing, how good can I get? How good can I find out if I can be? And I was dedicated. I would go and lift weights with the linemen because it's like, I got to get stronger. So, anytime I could get in, I'd lift. I was always working out, whatever programs I could do. The indoor facility was built my freshman year. So I'd get in there and just smash footballs into the nets all through the off season. But I was completely, and I'd watch my diet. I would vary, protein and carb intake. I would do everything I could possibly do. How good can I be at this one skill set? I would actually monitor, the pitch count in practice each week to determine, which days should I lift. And by my senior year, I had a good program of doing Olympic lifting on a certain day, having a high volume day in practice, which days to do flexibility training, which days to rest, which days to protein load, carbohydrate load, so that on game day, Saturday, I could get my very best. And I wanted to know, how good can I be at this one thing? So it wasn't quite enough. I didn't quite make it to the pro level, didn't quite get a chance. But this great honor is, I think, validation that, it's the old thing where, aim as far as you can into the sky, shoot for the moon, and if you miss, you can still, land in the Hall of Fame. So that was my goal, though, was how good can I get at this one skill? I've probably still got the notebooks that I kept, and I'd keep track of the volume, like the number of kicks I'd warm up with, how soon before practice I'd start warming up. So I'd leave the last class, and I'd get out and get dressed at least an hour before practice started to make sure I was fully warmed up so that I could then, in pre-practice, optimize my reps that I would take with whomever I could get, whether snapper and holder or the return guys that needed my help. And then I'd, rest during practice. Then if I needed to take them after, sometimes I'd eat during practice. I'd keep, a snack if I needed it because my practice was going to be longer than everybody else's. I was out fully an hour before to warm up to get all the flexibility in. And if I wanted to, get a boost of carbs in the middle of practice so I could finish, I would do that. So I'd keep some stuff stashed. I was that obsessed, and that's why the cliche about all of us kickers being weird guys, I'm no exception. But that being said, being accepted by especially the linemen, the offensive, defensive linemen, those are my guys. And to this day, to be friends with them still, that's really meaningful to me. You're blessed with an opportunity to continue to play the sport that you love, right? You get to keep playing, right? And always remember that, and whatever if you get frustrated with the preparation or the schedule and, guys cry about it, you get to play your sport and keep playing. And whenever the Reaper comes for you, it gets taken from us, unless your name's John Elway. For the rest of us, the game is taken from you. And whenever that comes, it sucks, but you get to play right now. Do not miss one moment of it. Every time you're out there in the weight room with your guys, dead tired at class, or the coach is yelling at you, take it in. Take the time to stop, look around, and take everything in because it's very, very special that you get to keep playing your sport. So, dear friend of mine, John Rosine, who was our defensive line coach, and a personal friend and mentor of mine, he would always say that. I'd get frustrated. Maybe I miss a field goal in a game or something, and I'd get really angry at myself, and he would say, what? Just stop and take the time to look around because you're going to wake up tomorrow and be 40. This will all be over. And here I am. That's the best thing I could tell you is just take every moment of it in because it's cliche, but it's gone like that, and some of us are really blessed that I get to be here doing this, but you get to play your sport, so just take it in.
I'm Jordan Willetts, Knox class of 2014. Derek Mortensen finished his career as the all-time leading rusher for Knox College football team. He graduated in 2014 following a fantastic career as a running back. Derek accumulated 4,016 rushing yards in his career and rushed for a Knox record 43 touchdowns. He holds the high water marks in average yards per game, 97.3, rushing attempts, most games over 100 yards at 19, consecutive games over 100 yards, and consecutive games with a rushing touchdown. Derek also set single-season marks for rushing attempts, rushing touchdowns, most games over 100 yards. Altogether, he holds 18 rushing and scoring records and is tied for 3 more. Derek was first team All-Midwest Conference in 2012 and 2013, and honorable mention in 2011. He was the Harley-Nosher Male Athlete of the Year, voted most valuable offensive player in 2012 and 2013. He was also named Midwest Conference Performer of the Week and Prairie Fire Performer of the Week multiple times. Also in 2012 and 2013, he was awarded the Tom Dean Award, which was given to the most valuable player in the Turkey Bowl game against Monmouth, after he ran for 154 yards and a pair of touchdowns. Talking about all of that definitely makes me think of, quite a few different things with playing with Derek for the 4 years that I had with him. It was always an honor to know that you were kind of blocking for one of the best running backs, not only in the conference, but at the time wasn't really thinking about how he'd be one of the best backs to kind of go through Knox College. But knowing Derek, he was definitely a quiet kind of kid on the field, but he was always a leader. You could tell that by the way he prepared for the game throughout the week, how he was during the game. He was always focused in, ready to go, and kind of wanted every carry to be his, because he wanted to be that difference maker throughout the game. As an offensive lineman, always blocking for him and everyone else in the backfield, Derek was a little bit different, because Derek wasn't shy about putting his shoulder down, trying to run over anyone on the defense. I will say a few times he actually has also ran me over. So he was never scared of the bigger guy or anything like that. He was never the fastest kid. I know I had a bet with him for the longest time. He would never break a run longer than 20 yards. I forgot what game it was, but I think he broke like a 40-yarder. And immediately after we came to the sidelines, he goes, "Hey, I think I won that bet." But Derek was a great running back. He was good at what he did. And he always had, a lot of promise, because he was willing to put that shoulder down. And that's not something that a lot of running backs are able to do. But Derek was one of the best. And getting into the Hall of Fame, that's definitely a credit to him. But I couldn't imagine blocking for somebody else throughout my 4 years at Knox College. It was definitely an honor of mine. And I know many other offensive linemen and other players from the years that Derek was there would definitely be saying the same thing. Derek majored in philosophy and double minored in business management and educational policy. He is currently working as a public safety officer and firefighter for the village of Glencoe. I am honored to welcome Derek Mortensen into the Knox-Lombard Athletic Hall of Fame, class of 2020.
I'm Derek Mortensen. I chose Knox College. I remember going to a recruitment theater in the Chicagoland area. Spoke with a quarterback named Bill Meyer. Talked to him. He was an amazing quarterback at my rival high school. He went to Cary Grove. I went to Crystal Lake South. So we were very intrigued. Talked up the triple option football, because that's what Cary Grove did, and that's kind of, I thought I'd fit well into a triple option offense as a fullback, just running downhill, having fun. I was interested in pre-med going into Knox, and I know the school is known for getting people into pre-med programs, and just the sciences at Knox are incredible. So that's what I went into. Wanted to play 4 years of football. Didn't have any aspirations of doing anything more after that. I wanted to be a doctor of some sort at that time. So Bill kind of talked me into that, because he was in the pre-med path. He was a great high school quarterback in my area. Figured if he went to Knox, it was good enough for me. I'd go. I love the coaches. Fell in love with Coach Gibbon, Isley. It was a great experience. They talked me into coming down for a visit, met with a lot of guys, had a lot of fun, enjoyed the campus, beautiful campus. Just had a great time there, and my decision was made very quickly. It was a friendly group of people. Got to go play 4 years of football without the stress and focus on school at the same time. So that was kind of why I leaned towards Knox and just continuing my football career. I was class of 2014 after my super senior year. Played football and was a running back. Well, first and foremost, I'd like to thank the coaching staff at Knox College, Gibbons, Isley, Tomeo, everybody that I played under, Bonstead, Allison. It was fun experience. I learned a lot, and you guys helped me progress and had the trust in me to be able to play all 4 years and kind of put myself in the Hall of Fame. So thank you very much for that. I wouldn't be able to be on the field as much as I was without the athletic trainer, Scott Sunderland. Felt like I was in there every week, day, with some sort of new injury, beaten up. I appreciate all the effort you put into me. Definitely have to thank my parents because they came to, if not the vast majority of my games in high school and college. At the time, my girlfriend, now wife, Michelle, for being there and supporting me and just coming to everything and being my biggest fan. My brothers, my family, just everybody that was there to support me, and especially the players that were there to help me make it happen. So the offensive line for sure is a running back. It definitely can't run the ball without you guys. I know people can get complacent without having the scholarship behind their sports, and they want to stop trying to play as hard as they can and stop putting in the effort. What separates most D3 athletes is that we're playing the sport for fun, and we're doing it to finish out our careers and move on. So being able to put the dedication in the classroom and still being able to show that you're dedicated to your sport and put in that extra time, which isn't required. We're not getting paid to do it. We're paying to play. So that kind of made it a different experience than if you went to a school with a scholarship, because I'm putting in the time in my classroom. I'm meeting friends. I'm going out to parties or hanging out with friends. I'm still dedicating myself in the weight room and strength and conditioning and going to the games and traveling across a couple states we got to go to. But it was memorable being able to do all that, out of a sense of pride and the love for the sport and the love for becoming a better person. So doing all those was very fulfilling in my mind. And my wife was playing basketball at another D3 school, so she was doing the same thing. I think we just both became better people by putting in that unnecessary effort into our sports. And I know a lot of other athletes probably did the same thing and feel the same way, that we're just hard workers. We do our job, and everybody appreciates most of us for that. Yes. Just before we touch back on that, though, in high school, we always had these cliche posters of integrity or momentum, all these different phrases or words that symbolize something that you'd be learning as you're playing. So integrity always stuck with me. It was right in front of our squat rack or whatever, and that's every time I squatted or every time I did leg workouts, integrity was just staring up at the poster. Integrity, integrity, integrity. What you're doing when nobody else is watching. So you're in there, you're doing your work, you're getting better, and that, to me, now, being a firefighter and a police officer, people expect a lot from us in the community, and they expect you to be the best person you can be. And that is especially when no one's watching, because people can take shortcuts and do improper things. And everything that I've learned playing a team sport about teamwork and dedication, integrity, it's just built me to become the best officer I can be, the best person I can be, help my friends, help my family, and do the best work at my job right now too. So I just become a better person by playing sports, and that's something I definitely, when I have kids, want them to experience too, because I think it develops people in a very professional way for the most part if it's done properly, and you have good coaches like I've had my whole life to get me there.
Hi, this is Darren Smith, a Knox graduate of 1993. I'm also the older brother of Michael Smith, who I'm introducing today. Michael Smith was a major dual sport threat for the Prairie Fire in the mid-90s. He graduated in 1996 and still holds records in both men's basketball and track and field. Michael's the all-time assist leader for the Knox men's basketball team with 323. He's also third all-time with 140 assists in a season, a feat he accomplished in 1995-96. Michael's named first team All-Midwest Conference and Midwest Conference All-Tournament in 1996. He also won co-MVP, co-most valuable senior, and was a co-winner of the Harley Nosher Award during his senior season when he led the team in assists and steals. As a member of the track and field team, Michael was a three-time Midwest Conference champion in the triple jump, and also was a member of the outdoor conference champion 4x100 meter relay team in 1994. He still holds the school records in the indoor triple jump, 45 feet, 7.5 inches, and the long jump, 22 feet, 7.5 inches. Michael also finished in second place in the long jump at the Midwest Conference Outdoor Meet in 1994 and in 1996. He was named Team MVP in 1993 and in 1996, as well as the greatest contributor in 1996. After he graduated, Michael served as graduate assistant for the basketball and track and field teams at Knox. He went on to begin a successful teaching and coaching career. Michael received a pair of master's degrees in education and administration in 2004 and in curriculum and instruction in 2011. Michael is currently the assistant principal at Reed Custer High School in Braidwood, Illinois. A couple things here not noted. Michael's freshman year, after his basketball season ended, he transitioned to indoor track, and with 2 practices, he won the Midwest Conference triple jump and broke a school record in the process. And finally, with our parents in attendance, and for the first and only time in our careers, Coach Hyman placed the 2 of us on the court together to share a few minutes of game time. It was an amazing experience, and we'll both be forever grateful that Coach gave that memory to the 4 of us. I'm proud of the student athlete that he was at Knox, proud of all of his accomplishments, and proud of the husband, father, and professional that he's become. I'm honored to welcome Michael Smith into the Knox-Lombard Athletic Hall of Fame class of 2020.
My name is Michael Smith. I am Knox College class of 1996. I was a 3-year starter on the men's basketball team as a point guard. I was a 4-year contributor in the men's track and field team. I was a sprinter and long jumper and triple jumper for all 4 years. I want to say thank you to the Knox-Lombard Hall of Fame, the Hall of Fame committee, the K Club, the Knox College Athletic Department, and the Knox College administration for this honor. Also want to congratulate Mary and Derek and my classmate, my suite mate, and my teammate Joe for going into the Hall of Fame, being inducted. It's just truly an honor to be going into the Hall of Fame with them. And as I sit back and think about it, it's not that often that you get a chance to thank people who've had a profound impact on your life, and that's what I get a chance to do right now. So I'm going to do that briefly, and hopefully I don't miss anybody. I'm sure I will, but I'm excited about this opportunity to say thank you to so many people. The first is my wife, Ann. She's my best friend. She's my support system. She just makes me a better person every day. And I love her to death, and I'm just incredibly lucky to have her in my life and to go on this journey with her. Second, my 2 sons, Ethan and Trevor. Thank you for just being awesome kids, awesome sons, and you're the reason I try to be the best that I can be and do the best every day. I'm just so happy and so thankful that I get to call you my sons. I get to be your dad every day. So I'm incredibly thankful for both of my boys. In terms of Knox College, I have to thank Scott Sunderland. You can't not thank Scott Sunderland for keeping me whole, keeping me upright, keeping me moving and in one piece. It was not an easy task when I was at Knox. But I thank Scott for all the help and the work that he did on me, and obviously for the previous and the following generations. He does such great work, and he's kind of an icon at Knox. And I wanted to say thank you to Scott. To Coach Hyman, I really wish Coach Hyman was still here with us, for showing me how to be a better teammate, how to be a better leader, and how to be a better person. Coach Hyman had a tremendous impact on me, and I also want to thank him for helping me to both love and appreciate Neil Diamond. We had some great conversations about his music, and as an 18-year-old driving across the state of Illinois for a basketball camp, nothing but about 6 hours worth of Neil Diamond in an old cassette tape. So, Coach, I just want to say thank you. I know that you're not here with us, but I miss you, and you had a huge impact on my life. Coach Prout, what an inspiration. Coach Prout man, helped me become such a better athlete, helped me push through so many boundaries and to reach my potential, and gave me so much insight into being a better athlete. And later in life, I had a chance to realize that he made me a better coach, because the lessons that he taught me as a 18, 19, 20-year-old were lessons that I was able to pass on to my athletes. So his wisdom, his insight lives on, through the next generation, through my athletes. So I appreciate Coach Prout so much, and I'm so grateful to have been on a team that he coached, or in teams that he coached, because he's a phenomenal man. To Coach Peck, Coach Danielson, my two assistant basketball coaches, to Coach Obram, to Coach Sheehan, Coach Foster, for your support, your guidance, and your humor. They made those tough basketball games or tough practices or tough track meets, they made them not so tough. And they, I'm sure, are often overlooked, but they made a tremendous impact on me in those 4 years. So thank you to those assistant coaches. And to my teammates and to my best friends, Stuart Russell, Jack Wright, Doug Tobin, Scott Meyer, Scott Meeker, Tom Wilcoxon, Ed Fry, Dana Vig, Colin Flaherty, Mick White. You guys are the reason I made it through Knox. You guys are the reason I had success. And each of you shares in this honor with me. I'm so grateful that I get to call you my friends, and I'm just an incredibly lucky man to know that for the past roughly 30 years, I've had you in my corner, and I'm just so thankful for your friendship and for all the time and energy that you've spent putting me in my place, but also encourage me and just making me a better person. So to my friends and teammates, I thank you tremendously. On the last four, I'm hopeful to get through without some greater emotion here, but I know I've mentioned him in when I spoke before, but Coach Nosher. Coach Nosher showed me how to inspire other people, how to lead with integrity, and how to give and to get respect from all people. He's an incredible man, and he's impacted so many people at Knox College, and his impact goes so far beyond the 4 years that I was there at Knox. And I know that it's that way for so many other people that went through Knox. He helped to shape me as an educator, as a leader, as an administrator, and most importantly, as a man. So his impact and the time that he spent helping me means so much to me, and I want to say thank you to Coach Nosher. My brother Darren, he was my hero growing up. He was my motivation to try to succeed. He was my idol. He was the reason I wore number 10 in high school and wore number 4 at Knox, and he was the reason that I went to Knox. He was somebody that always brought out the best in me, and I tried to bring out the best in him, but he was so much better at virtually everything that I think I probably just annoyed him. But that's another story. But D, thank you for being just the best brother a guy could ask for, and for everything that you've done for me. I honestly couldn't ask for a better brother, a better friend, or a better mentor, and sometimes a tormentor. Because again, he got his licks in on me. So, but again, I won't go into that. But my brother is he's an incredible man, and I'm thankful for him and all that he's taught me in my life. And the last but definitely not least are my parents, Ron and Lynn Smith. My parents taught me so much in my life. They taught me compassion. They taught me hard work and dedication and discipline and trust and humility, and how to communicate with others. And most importantly, they taught me how to love. And And they did that by showing me every day in everything that they did. There's no better example than that. And I'm a product of two parents who just put their heart and soul and complete focus into my brother and me. And I hope to pass that along to my sons. Hope I have, and I hope to do it, as I continue to go through life. My parents are just a great example of two people who, they're just the power of commitment to one another and to family. And I'm grateful for everything that they've given me, everything they've done for me, everything that they've taught me throughout my life. And they still continue to teach me and do for me today. They are an incredible set of parents, and I'm nowhere without them.
I am honored to extend my congratulations to this year's Hall of Fame awardees. This has been an unusual year for sport at every level, as you all know. Usually we would be together on campus for this festive occasion. And usually I would talk to you about the excitement of this year's competitions in the Midwest Conference. But throughout this year, unlike any other, we have missed the excitement of competition, the cheers of the crowd, the bus rides, well, maybe not the bus rides, the team hugs, the huddles. And that makes this year's Hall of Fame especially important because it reminds us of the centrality of the athletic experience in the lives of our student athletes, past and present. As Hall of Famers, you embody the best of intercollegiate athletics, and you serve as an example to today's student athletes. Thank you for the achievements of the past and the inspiration for the future.